To log in, just go to the domain name, firstcitynetwork.org/wp-admin. That's the domain name /wp-admin. That takes you to the login screen. This is where you enter your credentials. This is set up via GoDaddy, and they still do the old school way of just using admin. I don't find that too secure. Anyway, then you enter the password. I like to check to make sure, and then log in. So once you're in here, this is your dashboard. We'll go over that next. But while we're in here and discussing logging in, I'm going to provide you with your access right now, and you can watch how I do that. To do that, go to Users in the dashboard. You can go to All Users or Add User. I'm just going to give you a username of Jeff M. Your email is finance oh boy. Okay, there you go. First name Jeff, last name Martin. Website. You don't really have to fill this out because it's self-evident. But you do need to generate a password. This is for security now. These passwords are 20 plus characters long. So I'm going to just copy this and I'll email you. And then the next thing you have to do is all of these roles here, you have different options. I'm going to provide you full control as administrator. And then add user. And there you go. Let's make sure that you're in there. Yep, Nick's still in here too. Okay, and that is the login process. So this section is a basic overview of those items in the dashboard that you will be most concerned with. I'll do a quick overview on the maintenance that you have to keep in mind in the dashboard. So again, to get back to the dashboard, just click on the site name, go to dashboard, media library. This is where all the images or PDF files or anything that needs to be published within the site, this is where they reside. To add a new image, just hit add media file, select file, and then choose from your folder what you want to drop into here, or you just select file. And let's go to pages. This is all pages, and so that gives you an overview of the existing pages. If a page is noted here and it's not showing up in the in your menu, in your navigation, That's because it is intentionally not put in, or it has to be been removed from that. I'll show you that next. To add a page, just go up to add a page. And here you can just put a title on the page, Jeff's page. Whoop. And if you hit publish, that will publish it to within the site. But that it's not going to be showing up in the menu yet. You have to physically put it there. To edit the page, I suggest using the Divi Builder, obviously. And you can go into this section. You'll either want to build from scratch. You can do choose a pre-made layout, browse layouts. In your case, it'd be your existing pages. So if there's a page in here that you kind of want to just use as a template, and then just make some edits to, you can do it that way. And then use this layout. And there's that events page. So you can go in here and start editing. That's coming up next. I don't want to get into that right now. Let's go back to the dashboard. Discard and edit. We don't want to save any of that. Let's see. Appearance. Themes. This is where the theme resides. And it's Divi. There might be more themes that would pop up here normally, but I've already deleted any of those defaulted themes that come with WordPress. So that's where the themes are. Plugins. This is extremely important. You can go to installed plugins. This shows you all of the plugins that I have installed over time. Some of these are not active anymore. For instance, it says activate. That means that we don't need them. You probably should just, if they're inactive for quite a while, you should delete them. The reason for that is you're just causing more data to enter into the site that you don't necessarily need. What else we got going on here? Activate user feedback. We can delete that. Let's see. And I think we're pretty well caught up. Yep. Okay, now, if you want to add a plugin, let's say you have a function that you have in mind that you want to perform in the site, go up to Add Plugin. This is where WordPress shines. And you don't get this with Squarespace or with Wix. So let's say you have an idea that you want to put in the website. Just go here to search plugins. Let's search for quiz. And then what happens is all of these options pop up. These are all different developers, and that's all they do is they develop plugins through coding for WordPress. And to review a plugin, I usually like to look at how many stars it is, how many active installations it has, and critically, if it's compatible with your version of WordPress. And so if you want to check out the backside of a plugin, just go to more details. This gives you some options here. I like to look at screenshots. It gives you an idea of the operation of the plugin. I'm going to just get out of here. And let's see. Here's the reviews. Almost all of them are 5 stars. That's good. So I'm going to get out of this one. I'm going to go to one that I've used before. That's HD Quiz. More details. Again, 5 stars, same. Screenshots gives you an idea of what the back end looks like. You can click on that to get a better idea. And if you want to install the plugin, just hit install now. That might appear either in the dashboard entirely, or it could be under settings. So if you install something and you're not seeing it here, check under settings. So let's see, users, all users, and there's where I put you in. I can edit you, and so I've made you an administrator, and I've already sent you the password that I set up. But if you want to add a new password, if you want to change the password for security reasons, just go here and set new password. You have the opportunity to do that. Let's see. Okay, WordFence. WordFence is a maintenance item. This basically is a plugin. This is a basic version. It has a premium version that has a lot more bells and whistles to it. But I find that I install WordFence in just about all of my sites that I develop. This gives you a review of what WordFence has caught. These are all your attacks and anything that they have decided to blacklist, but this gives you an idea of what it does. A brute force attack is somebody doesn't necessarily have your information, but they're just out there trying to seed malware to different sites. This shows you all of the blocks that WordFence has performed. Let's see. You want to look at notifications. One issue found in most recent scan. Let's see. There it is. WordPress version is out of date. It's a core upgrade. It's a low security issue at this point, and you'll have an opportunity to update that in just a bit. You can run a scan. Let's see, right here. So WordFence, I think I've got this set up to run a scan every other day. I can't remember. Anyway, if you want to run a scan manually, just hit start new scan. And you'll see this is a progress bar here. It shows you how far it is in the scanning process. Sometimes this can take quite a while. And so I usually do this when I know that I have some time to monitor it. It can take up to 15 minutes. But for the sake of efficiency, let's get out of here right now. Let's go back to the dashboard. Okay. So the most important maintenance item is when you click on home, and you'll see this underneath, updates. if there's an item of plugins here or themes, well, you only have one theme. So everything I've updated everything here. This should have, this is what the WordFence was referring to. Your background WordPress needs an update, and it's not showing that it's there yet. So check that periodically. It's nice to have all of these updated, especially the plugins, because what happens is when I showed you those plugins page, and when you wanted to add a plugin, that's why you make sure that you check that it's compatible with your version of WordPress. That's where this comes into play. So that's a maintenance item. The maintenance item comments. This just comes defaulted. This is a throwback to when WordPress was a blogging platform. And you get comments on blogs. Well, this is basically just a spam catcher now. So normally, I've cleaned everything up. So if you go here and you see a bunch of items, and that would be reflected again in a number in a red circle. If you have 10 items, then there'll be 10 items in a red circle. All you need to do is go up here, click author, and then it will give you what do you want to do with it. You want to save it, or do you want to mark it as spam? Go up and just call everything you've selected spam, and it'll take it out. Oh, okay, let's see. And I think that's just about it. WP activity log. This basically just reflects all of the activity that I've performed over time. I'm not sure what these codes mean. Let's see. So so it shows everything that I've done. Oh, okay. This is a severity code. It's informational. This is basically all of those plugins that I deleted, if you remember from a few minutes ago. That's why it's showing this, because it involves a plugin. But usually this is just informational. So it goes on and on and on and on. 734 items. I don't usually I have no reason to really look at this, because I know what I've been doing within the site, and I'm the only one doing it. So it's kind of nonsensical for me to keep checking it, but I do once in a while, just for grins, if nothing else. And okay, now let's get into okay, go to appearance, menus, or let's say you want to add in a new page, or new media, a new user. This is a shortcut right here. So you can ignore projects that is not applicable to First City Network. So that's a shortcut if you want to. It still has a post. This is, again, this is built into the back end of WordPress as a blogging platform. Lots of people still use it as a blogging platform. So that's why that it has been retained. So let's go to menus, appearance, menus, scroll down. These are all of the pages that I have created over time, and these are the pages that are currently in the navigation. If you go up to the top of the page, these are the pages that will show. If you want to take something out, let's say donations, just go up here and hit remove. Well, we don't want to take out donations. So when you create a page, as I previously showed you, it goes into this section. So what you want to do then is click on that and then just click add to menu, and then it will show up here. Also, this is all drag and drop. You can change the order of how it's appearing in the menu. For instance, like that. Thank you. The thank you page that's a separate page that when somebody uses the contact form, that comes back. But you don't want that showing in the main section of the menu because that's not relevant to everybody who's looking at this site. So that's just about it for all of the more critical dashboard items. Let's go back to the site. And next we're going to get into the actual tools that you use and the modules that you have to review. And this is where the learning curve comes in. So that's the next section. So this is the section where we get into the actual building system, the building blocks of the website. The building blocks, or modules in this case, all reside on the back side. And to access those, I am going to actually build an example page for you so that you can follow along. And then when we have our Zoom meeting, make sure that you ask all the questions that you take notes on. So to get started, let's go back to the dashboard. Updates, no updates needed. Okay, great. Let's go to pages, all pages. And where Jeff's page. So I did publish this page, and now we're going to do an edit with Divi. And in this case, because I want you to gain some knowledge on the primary modules, I'm going to build from scratch. Okay, so step one. All Divi sites are built in a hierarchy. The biggest area is a section. And then after that comes rows. And then after that comes modules. So think of a module within a row and a row within a section. So let's do the first row, and so I'm going, so this already, I forgot to mention that this already has a section pre-inserted in it. And so these are the control bars. This one is to move the section. This one is for your section settings, which you're in a lot. This one is to duplicate the section, and this one is to save that specific section to your library in case you want to use it again. And the trash can is self-explanatory. That's if you just want to delete the section. So, so we have a section and we have our first row. You notice that the first row is not taking up the whole section. So this is common between sections, rows, and modules. So you want to go in here under Design, Sizing, and if you see these sliders here, you want to take it up to probably about 95%. And then your max width. So you'll notice that oh, by the way, you can change this window to any size you want in case you want to see more of the screen. Pretty cool, huh? So you can change the max width. Notice how the endpoints are expanding or contracting as I change. That is primary reason that you'll be using the sizing tab. Let's go back to spacing. So here, some people have an issue grasping the difference between margin and padding. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a step to illustrate that difference. So I am going to insert a module. And let's see, what do we want to insert here? How about an image? Image, do a search. There you go. So you see the placeholder window pops up, and then you want to insert an image. So just go to the settings tool, and let's do something here. Also, just an FYI, if you're creating images and with the intention of bringing them, importing them into the site library, be cognizant of the size. I know a lot of clients, they'll go out and they take a bunch of pics with their phone and not even realizing that the phone settings is set to high resolution. Well, the issue with high resolution is it takes up a lot of data space, and so you don't need that much resolution. The normal full width, or the traditional full width was 1080. So you don't want to go above that in the width of any image. I guess it's the easiest way to say it. So let's upload an image. There you go. Now, so let's illustrate the difference. Going to go back to design. We'll go to spacing. This is defaulted within Divi. There is an invisible space here, and I'll show you the difference between that in a second. But right now I want to show you the difference between margins and padding. So let's say you want this to go all the way to the top. So what you have to do is hit 0 and hit 0 again, and then you have to go back to the section settings, hit design, spacing, and 0. You notice how that jumps right to the top? So you can kind of do a shortcut just by changing the padding on the section itself. Let's go back and we'll see how that works. Oh, not to the row, we want to do the module. And if you haven't noticed by now, the elements are color coded. Modules have the gray toolbar. Sections have, rows have the green toolbar, and sections have a blue or a purple toolbar. So let's go back to spacing here. Now let's go back to the section. Design, spacing, 0, 0. So that essentially does the same thing. You can use that method if you want. I prefer to set the spacing, the margins and padding within the row or the module itself. I guess the best way to explain this is you have an expandable element, and you can expand it in a couple different ways so that it meets up with the next element with as much spacing as you deem that you want. So I'm going to leave that here. So here, backgrounds. Backgrounds can be achieved in different ways, but it's going to apply to those certain elements. For instance, so let's go back up to the section setting, and background is under content, so click on content. Let's say you just want to do a color background. You can use the default colors, or you can use the selector. Sorry. So that gives you an idea of what that background setting does. It fills up the whole area of the section itself, not just the row. And obviously the module is an image module, so you don't really have a background in that. So let's go back here to spacing. This is where you set the spacing for the section itself, but everything is set to 0 as far as the top. So now you want to take up this big area here, and you're going to set that to 0 and that to 0. So now you have equal distance between top and bottom. Now, here's the thing. If you want this to just bleed up to the edge, top and bottom, so it takes up the whole space, that's where you have to go into the row settings. Row, design, spacing. And here the difference is padding is the area between the live edge of the element and the edge of the section or the module or the row. So what we need to address here is this is a padding situation. This is a padding situation. So if we do 0, and if we want the same, just click the chain icon, and there you go. So you probably want to play around with this so you get a good firm grasp of the difference. So let's say we're still in the row settings. The row is within the section itself. So let's say you want more space between the this area and this navigation bar. So this is a margin situation. And so let's do 30. See how that drops down? In this case, the padding is left alone. You're only concerned with moving the whole row up and down. So I'm going to take this back, delete that. And again, you'll want to go back and forth on your own, a lot of trial and error until you get this down. But so let's go to the section, go to design, spacing, and you'll notice here that the section itself is, because you have this set to 0, 0, 0, 0, but you want to again put more space between this edge and the bottom edge of the menu bar. So it's exactly the same thing. You can achieve the same thing by doing it also in the section. So if you want to increase the margin, voila. So you can do it either way. My suggestion is once you develop your own preference, whether you're applying a margin change to a section or a row or a module, then that's kind of dependent on what you're trying to achieve. So I'm going to, let's get out of here now. This looks good. So this is a 2-column row. Also with the row, if you go back to these sections, sizing, you notice how we set this at 95? Now watch. Boom. If you set it at 100%, it takes up the whole width of the screen. See that? Now, the purple is still the whole width of the screen, but the row is changing because you're changing the row settings. So let's set it back to 100. And you can also, you won't be using this too much, but you can change the alignment here and here. Almost every time, just leave it flush left. You might want to play around with those settings, but it's not critical for you. Okay. So you're in design, and let's say that you want to add some animation to this. Click on animation. Here's all the animation effects that you have. I don't use a lot of animation. I do once in a while if I think it's makes a good introductory element. Use it at your own discretion. But here's an example. So right now there is none. So we're dealing with the row setting. Let's add a fade you see how that fades? You can change the duration or how slow it is. And you can do a slide, bounce, zoom, flip. Flip is horizontal, fold is vertical, and a roll is pretty self-explanatory. So let's go back over those again. Fade, slide, bounce, zoom, flip, fold, roll. So I'm just going to leave this as a fade. Okay, so you have a row set up full width within a section. So now you want to add some text that will apply to the image. So at this point, I want you to notice when you click on the plus sign, it's an insert module order. So, and these are all of the modules that you have to work with. There's a lot more than what you'll ever need. So in this case, I want to add some text on this side. So I can do a search again, obviously, or just, there you go, text. Now, your text has this filler text whenever you insert a text module. So what you want to do is we want to make this a little more visible. The gray on the dark purple isn't working too well. So what you want to do is go in and go to text, because this is all text. If you go back here, I'm going to open this window a little. If you go back here and you define all of that copy, see, it's all paragraph. So let's go back up to design. Text is paragraph text. I don't know why they don't call it paragraph, but so here you can change the text color. You can change the text size. And then why is it butting right up against the edge? Well, that is because you set that to the row setting, margin or padding, padding to 0. Now if you try to change that with the row setting, I'll show you what's going to happen. Row is green. See, here's the padding. And we didn't want that, so I'll take that chain off. So now you see how it dropped down, but it also dropped down this. That's not what you want to do. So this is a change. Boy, what's going on here? Design, spacing. There we go. There you go. So if you just want to add the spacing above the text, you have to just work within the text module. So go back to the edit on toolbar, and you want to go to Design, Spacing. Now, if you want to add space here, you can do it either by the margin, because it's providing a margin between the edge of the row and the edge of the actual copy. Could take that back. So in this case, for text, margin and padding does essentially the same thing. So I'm going to leave that padding at that. Now let's say you notice how this is going over too far to the right, where you have a larger space here. This is your gutter. This is your gutter. If you want to shorten up this line length, obviously, you go to padding 90. And there you go. I might even do more on this. Let's say 120. There. So now we have a section set, we have a row inserted, we have an image module inserted, and the margin and padding set, and we have a text module with the padding set. So let's go back to the content. Now let's say you want to add a header. Do a hard return. This is so right now it's showing that it is also a paragraph because you just put it in with the text. But what you want to do is make this a heading. So easy way to do that, define that text and go up here, hit heading 1. Again, it defaults to that gray. Heading 2 is usually a little smaller. Heading 3 is smaller still. You normally won't go beyond a heading 3, heading 4. You're getting to almost the size of the text. So I'm going to leave this at a heading 1. And again, if you want to change the settings here, go to Design. And in this case, heading, not text. Go to heading text. So we selected the 1, and so it's heading 1. You can, let's say, this is where you select the color, and you can do all kinds of nifty stuff here. And you can change the transparency. Move that back up. Or you can change the lightness. And you can change the alignment. Again, I do almost everything flush left because that's the way the eye reads. So here are some other settings. This is probably secondary knowledge, but just to illustrate. So watch the heading line, header leading spacing. See how it spaces it out? Well, it kind of depends on the design effect you're after. I'm going to take this back. Heading line height. So if that heading had took up 2 lines, then that would be the line height. So it's acting as if there's a line there and it's adding more space. But I'm going to, there. That basically illustrates that. Now, these are the two modules that you find yourself using the most: an image module and a text module. So let's just do for review. Let's say you want to put some space above and below the image. Go to spacing. And so what would that be? Would that be a margin or that would be a padding? That's a padding situation. So notice it just put 30 pixels above the image, but not below. To add them below 2, just hit the change. So that locks the setting together. Let's see. I'm going to take those out. There. So also you can kind of basically achieve the same results by changing the padding on the row. So you can use the up and down arrows if you want to fine tune. If you want that space the same, again, hit the chain. But I'm taking it back to 0. So now just for illustration, I'm going to take this and size the row down some, so I can show you what's going on here. And then design spacing. Now what I'm trying to achieve is I want you to, I'm going to be changing background colors here, but to do that I need to have the elements appear as islands. Think of them as islands. So let's see. All right. Now, I still once in a while, if I'm in a hurry and I'm changing a background, I'm saying, what the hell's going on? And it's like, well, I changed the row background when I wanted to change the section background. So this gives you an illustration. So this changes, if you change the background of the section, it changes the whole color of the section. Whatever it was, that's good. But now, let's say you want to, if you do this, if you change the background color of the row, background, just pick red. So you see that it's not filling the whole area. Obviously, it's just filling the area of the row. I'm going to take that off. It's going to go one more level down. Let's change the background of the module. So go up here to your edit, content, background. So you see what if you get into a design situation and you want to uh, apply a kind of like an island feeling to your overall layout, this is one way to achieve it. Uh, and obviously, here, just for illustration, let's say that this is obviously goofy. Why is that goofy? Well, because uh, the setting is different for here than here. That is the padding. If you roll over, you'll notice that when something turns, an area turns gray within the module itself, that's the padding that you've applied. So if you want to make this the same, obviously just go back, design, spacing, padding. What do you have to do? Hit the chain. And there you go. Now, let's say you want to center this more. So we're going to do 40. And you can make this a little less there. Make it 100. So this is a perfect opportunity to really show you the difference between padding and margin. So you want this to be, this module, this text module, to be more centered in line with the image module. How do you do that? Well, you have to add space here. That is a margin because you're from the top edge of the module to the top edge of the row. So to do that, oh, that was too much. You can trial and error, try to achieve what you want. Okay. So I just got a text from Roger. So that is essentially what you'll be doing with an image module and a text module. Those are the two modules that you probably will be using most of the time. So now I'm going to, let's say I want to add a big header up here. You can't do it inserted at the top. You have to do it at the bottom. So let's say you want this flush. I'm going to get rid of this color. Zippo. And let's make this flush. Maybe just a little bit of a border there. Okay. So now you want to add a big header. There's two different types of headers. There's a regular header and a full width header. The full width header is, let's just try this one. So within a full width header, you have different types of options. We want a full width header. And what happens with full width is it comes preset with text. It gives you this built into Divi. It's been like that since inception. Is a button. It's all kind of cool, but so that's a full width header. So just for grins, let's say we want to add another option. Now we're going to see what a regular is. So with a regular, it doesn't automatically go to full width. you have to make that happen within the settings itself. So once you're in there, then you got to go through all the setting the module. It just because every time you set a section, it automatically applies a row. And so in this case, you had to do the background, similar situation. But so you don't automatically get all of this applied. You have to do it exactly how we did this. So I am just, let's see, let's get rid of the full width. And so this is going to be our heading. Now, how do we get this up there? We want this bar to be above, this section to be above that section. So these are how you move it. Just drag and drop. Okay. So first off, you can start adding content to the section itself via modules, but I want this flush. So, and if you look really close, you can see when you roll over the toolbar, see the little blue outline? Well, that's the outline of the section. So what we want to do is spacing, margin. We want 0, 0. Okay, so now we've changed the all of the settings. So we set that to 0, the padding to 0. That means that the row within the section is flush with the edge of the section. So again, you can do this by the section settings, spacing. So that would be more of a padding situation, just for grins. There. Okay, so, oh, well, I thought I changed this. Why do I still have the space? Well, you still have the space because you didn't change it in this section. So if you go back here, spacing, and you notice that the margin, this is the margin situation. This is the padding situation. This is the margin. What you want to do is set that to 0. And there you go. So we're going to repeat that process. Sizing of the row. Take it up to, let's say 95. You can expand that. You can't see the endpoints because this is only one row in here. So that's how you can add a new column underneath it. If you want, you probably will never need to do that. So let's get rid of that. But let's say you want to add a big header in here. And so obviously you have to grab a text module. And let's change this. All right. Content, text. This is your biggie header. Heading 1. So you want to change the settings on the header text. Heading text, we know that we set that to 1. White. And you want that to be a lot bigger. And there you go. So that is the essentials between sections, rows, and modules. And the two main modules that you'll be using the most, which is an image and a text module. And I'm going to take a short break here before I get into some other modules. Stay tuned.